Don't be gay, camp ya. Good Sunday afternoon. You know what that means? This is another exciting episode of Matinee with the homies. And today we're going to be talking some old school comic book movies before the MCU, before Iron Man, and before the DCU. Once again, you got the panel of these four assholes and one rage quitter. Atomic, how's it going, brother?
Bro, it's good. I'm happy to be here. I'm surprisingly not tired for how little sleep I got last night. But yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have some fun, and yes, we're gonna do a little bit of roasting towards Ronan, and Ronan better roast us too. So
that's what friends do. Only true friends can be mean to each other.
Yeah, it's true.
How's it going, Campia?
I'm going all right. Thank you for joining us once again. We're going to be doing movies before the MCU, aka before 2008. Comic book movies. We were thinking about doing only Marvel, but there was quite a few DC movies we want to talk about too. So we're doing that. And we just appreciate you coming in. Like Kreese would say, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that.
Dead silence.
Coming back from literally rage quitting like a little bitch last night. Our good friend.
Oh my god.
Rhonda. What's up, Buttercup? How's it going, Rhonda?
I'm going. It's going good. I'm much better now. I'm far better now. Hello, everybody. Y'all know who I am. I'm Rage Quitting Wanda. Rage Quitting Wanda.
Rage Quitting.
Rage Quitting Wanda. Rage Quitting Wanda is what I am. Fucking yes, I'm Ronan the Crusader. And I couldn't miss this stream for the world, even after these fucking assholes were just making my piss boil.
That's what we do. We appreciate you coming back, even though we get under your skin as we do.
Absolutely.
Son of a bitch.
So, like I said, oh wait, Phantom. Who are you, Phantom?
I'll forget him.
It's your boy Phantom X, and so we
the oldest man on earth.
We're having a little fun today, and probably say some stupid shit and roast each other, and we're gonna talk a little bit. We're only going around the hour, everybody.
Let's talk movies.
I've got a heart out it too.
What do you mean by that?
I got to leave at 2. That's what you say.
There we go.
That's what you say in the lingo. I got a hard out at 2.
All right, Campia. So what we're gonna be talking about tonight?
Well, like I said, today, yeah. Like I said, we're doing comic book movies that are pre-MCU. The question, were they good? Were they bad? Was there some great ones? Was there somewhere they could have done differently where it worked out? So my first question starting out is, what comic movies were considered before the MCU? What do you think people saw them as pre-MCU? Was there outliers? Was there things that people just was like, wow, this is a movie. Why is this here?
I think for myself, there were niche movies that were.
That's what I was going to say.
That come out. It's like if you think about it, they started doing like originally they didn't put comic book movies in theaters. They were made for TV movies like Spider-Man, like Captain America, especially like the Incredible Hulk. And it was just this little niche thing because comic books at the time were popular. People loved comic books, Superman and Batman and stuff like that. So it was a niche thing. It wasn't like the $1 billion, it used to be $1 billion franchise we have now. That was gay. That was gay, Atomic.
I was waiting for it. I pretty much agree with you, Phantom, on that. That whole thing it's niche. It was a niche thing. It wasn't really obviously wasn't nearly as big as it has been in the last decade. Before 5 years ago, but yeah, no, it's pretty much just. My opinion is I just don't really I don't see how people just. It wasn't popular. It wasn't nearly as popular. It was very small, and then Iron Man came out, and then bam,
Well, the thing is, the popularity was slowly rising. You got to take into consideration. Okay, fine. It was mostly niche and campy because of like 60s Batman with like Adam West and everything. No, yeah, not campy. It's much gayer than campy, and he's already gay as is. But
it's not okay. It's not that gay.
But the 60s Batman stuff, which was pretty popular, along with like the comics there, like it was slowly growing. And then you would have to say like the 80s stuff that was coming out, not just with Tim Burton's Batman, like in the very late 80s, but then you also had early 90s. You had like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and God, what else was there? There were a few others that were coming out around that. Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. Actually, that's another one that was coming
Masters
out.
of the Universe.
Again, Masters of the Universe as well. But again, it was still kind of niche at the time. It was only when, and I know this is the one that a lot of people really point to, but it's only when Blade came out that's where people really started looking at like comic book films really, really being like not just profitable, but like you can actually build like a big franchise out of this
world,
a whole world.
Yeah. And when it came to Blade, it's like when Blade hit, everybody's like, this is a comic, but this is based off a comic book.
Yep.
And I mean, hands down, like we had, like this day and age, we had franchises, this day and age with the comic book movies, but really back in the day, the only franchises that you had was Batman and Superman, the Christopher Reeve Superman and, the Tim Burton universe.
Well, Adam West and the Tim Burton, but
yeah.
Right.
And then it's like Marvel had hit and misses. I mean, like TV shows with superheroes, Marvel dominated with TV. The Incredible Hulk. You had the Incredible Hulk. You had these little like Spider-Man. Even Spider-Man had a TV show in the late 70s.
Well, DC did have the Flash show in the 90s, in the early 90s. So yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, and even that too. There was also like what Phantom was saying, like Marvel was dominating TV. They even had like some of the smaller stuff like Doctor Strange. I didn't even know that was a thing until we recently talked about it. But Doctor Strange had a TV show too.
Same thing for me. Nick Fury. I never knew that.
So it was that Doctor Strange was a pilot movie, because back in the day they did pilots for TV shows,
right?
And it didn't pick on. Is it a good pilot? Absolutely not. It doesn't. Absolutely not. But it's so Stan Lee back in the day wanted his stuff to come out. I mean, that's the reason why he partnered with Japan, and they did the Japanese Spider-Man for Japan.
That's true.
And then he had the 70s Spider-Man, which the actor who plays Spider-Man died recently. And they took the television show and combined them into 3 movies that came out, I'd say early 80s.
Well, do you think it was also like at that point in the 70s, 80s, you still could, comic book people were considered nerds. I mean, do you think that has something to do with it too? The fact that like the dynamic around there really didn't change until the early 90s with like the X-Men cartoon and stuff like that?
I could actually see that being the case. It's even to this day, and I don't mean to try and get political about this, but even to this day, you have a lot of like people on our side, shall we say, that still look at things like comic books and DC and Marvel as childish, even though a lot of that's part of the American mythos that we build to essentially continue these timeless stories, right? But again, they still put it in the 90s, they really pushed it down. So you had like the usual stereotypes. And then this day and age, you still see it, but it's more lucrative now because it's actually becoming mainstream.
Yeah, the money's there.
That's something that they can't deny anymore.
I agree with you. Everything except I'm not this side. I'm not that side. I hate them both.
Right. Well, again,
yep.
But it's. Oh, go ahead, Phantom.
Like, if you think about like Marvel's biggest contributors was TV back in the day, and like when it comes to
animation.
Yeah, well, they had the cartoons. They had like Spider-Man, His Amazing Friends. They had the
X-Men.
They literally
that's
took
90,
the.
But yeah.
That's right.
Well, like back before then, like in the
70s and 80s,
the 66 Spider-Man cartoon, that came out.
Remember, DC also had Super Friends as well too.
Was that 60s? I thought that was early 70s, but yeah.
Around that, it was around that time, yeah.
And back then, people thought that superheroes were just for cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And what really changed the genre, in my opinion, was the TV show The Incredible Hulk. You had Lou Ferrigno, Mr. Olympia, come in. They paint him green, put contacts on him. He wore these little things to protect his feet. But he was the embodiment of the Incredible Hulk on television, which that show lasted for decades, or for a decade.
Well, the show did last, I think it was 3 seasons, but the 4 different movies came over 2 years.
Which I have 2 of them. I have the Return of the Incredible Hulk, where they introduced Thor, and then the next one was the trial of the Incredible Hulk. They introduced not only the first ever live action Daredevil, but the first adaptation of Kingpin, because the guy that played Gimli in fucking Lord of the Rings, he played Kingpin in that movie. That TV movie.
John Rhys Davies.
Yeah. So he and the dude that was in Street Hawk as the driver of the motorcycle, he played Daredevil. And guess what? You guys know the Daredevil's Netflix show. So you know how his original costume was the black costume. They actually paid homage to that Incredible Hulk movie, having him in a black suit with the black thing on his head and stuff.
Okay. All right. And consider that. Nice.
I didn't even know that either. So we talked about what that is. What comic book movies do you think captured the spirit before the MCU? Like we talked about, we get to talk about more Blade. Blade was one of those that just caught everybody off guard. You can add on to that, or do you see another one that kind of did it?
Spider-Man 2002.
So we were in the green room, right? And we were gonna talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because that's another one,
that's one that was
also being made. Right. The only reason I disagree is just because the movie does feel very it feels like it's geared a lot more towards fans of the original cartoon series that was coming out in the 80s. That's the only reason why. You got to remember the comics when they came out, they were actually a little bit dark. Yeah. Pretty gritty. Yeah. But I can understand why some people would see it that way, that it could capture the spirit of it. It just felt like it was more in tune with the cartoon series.
Well, it's the first time outside of like Phantom said, the main 2 characters like Superman and Batman. It's the first time you really seen somebody take a chance on a comic book property, even though it did have a big TV show or cartoon. It's the first time they were like, whoa, this movie, they put the movie out expected to make a little bit of profit, but they made boku's of profit on that.
Yeah, it's true.
And it made them go, whoa, not more of the comic books can make money than just these 2 scenarios. And it's like, I think that's right there is where it showed this could be a profitable way going forward. And let's be honest, Ninja Turtles 2 did just as good.
Yeah,
but
it
did. What made the movie and it literally put Jim Henson's studio on the map were the Turtles costumes.
Yes, yeah. Those are really.
I won't say put them on the map, but that definitely got them more work, because I would say Labyrinth did more of that than the first.
Well, but the thing is that when the third movie, it wasn't Henson, and you could tell the quality and the costumes went down.
Yeah,
and people disliked the third. I love the third movie regardless, but you could tell the costumes downgraded. But so the thing with the Turtles, back then people only knew them from the cartoons, and this is their comic books, went off in the direction of the cartoon. Yeah, it's more in tune with the original cartoon, which was fine.
It changed,
which is fine. Yep. And the thing is that this is at a time before DC bought the company that created the Turtles and flushed them out, and then we got the Abominations, which were the don't take me wrong, I do like the 2 newer ones for what they were. I just the CGI Turtles did not. The Michael Bay ones.
Yeah,
the CGI stuff just didn't appeal to me. I love the practical costumes, but in this day and age, they don't do practical anymore.
No, unfortunately.
And the sad thing is, it'd be financially profitable if they did, but they just don't.
You guys remember that 2007 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, where the TMNT one, where it was
the one from Imagi Studios. This is the one that I'll always praise, because this is. I watched the 2003 cartoon series, right? Like, I watched it when I was a kid, but I was never super big on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But this is the one where I was like, I absolutely love the Turtles. I think the Turtles are awesome. Like, and like, as an adult now, I actually understand how the Turtles are popular in a lucrative franchise. And it's such a shame that studio actually got shut down even after that film.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't know how many times I got to mention it, but Phantom, if you remember, they were trying to make a Gatchaman film from that studio, but they never got it off the ground. Yep.
But then you gotta remember in the early 2000s, they did the New Mutation live action TV show, and they added female one, and
Venus,
and they premiered them alongside Power Rangers in Space, which was it was the first true team up episode of the new era, and it was actually really good to see the Turtles team up with the Rangers, which they did later on in the comic books, but too little, too late.
Yeah, I mean, there was like more movies than that came out for comic book, but they weren't really thought of as comic books. I'll give you a prime example. The movie Dick Tracy, which is a comic strip. It's a comic book.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And Warren Beatty made that movie because he loved the comic strip back in the day, but nobody really, until the movie was made, nobody really realized. I mean, they knew it was a comic strip, but never knew it did anything else other than that. And it's like
Flash Gordon
in the 80s. You're right.
Phantom,
You're right.
And the Phantom. And the Phantom, like
the Phantom was a pulp comic all the way back in like the 30s and 40s, and then Billy Zane helped make the movie.
The thing is, though, the Phantom is the first. He predates fucking Superman and Batman.
We know the Phantom does. We know the Phantom does.
This Phantom also predates a lot of things.
He predates like the 1900s. He predates comic books even before. No, he predates fucking cave drawings.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
He's the one making
first
the
comics. The first comics were written.
Get it right. I'm Vandal Savage, motherfucker. I'm Vandal Savage. Damn it.
But like, those were coming out around the same time, like the Shadow,
the Rocketeer,
the Green Hornet, all those different comics, the pulp comics and everything. Yeah.
Well, the Rocketeer was a comic, and nobody really remembers that being a comic.
Yeah. And they made that into a serial in movies back in the 20s and 30s.
I think 30s, 30s is what it was. But like that was.
Then Disney made a movie. I believe it was the late 80s, early 90s when they made the Rocketeer.
91,
early 90s.
Okay.
Yeah. Good fucking movie. Highly recommend it. Soundtrack is phenomenal.
I agree.
And a hot young Jennifer Connelly as always.
Jennifer Connelly, and you got the
soundtrack. The soundtrack for many of these movies though are just fucking amazing.
Nah, the movie that made me fall in love with Jennifer Connelly is going to be Labyrinth. It's always going to be Labyrinth. Her first major role in a movie was Labyrinth. For me, as a kid, beautiful.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I can't remember the guy's name, so I'm looking it up.
Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, I remember him now. Yeah.
Oh, he was such a great villain in that movie.
He was Earl Flynn, but he was a Nazi at the same time.
Yep.
Actually, not to veer too far away from like the actual question at hand, though, which was comic books capturing like the spirit best. You want my honest opinion? Controversial take. Ang Lee's Hulk. For me, I think it was Ang Lee's Hulk. Just because
Campy was like, God damn it.
I knew Campy was going to be disappointed. Every time we bring this one up, I know he's always got that big sigh coming out of him.
Not a bad movie.
Go ahead, give your.
It's not a bad movie.
Hang on. Let Ronan give his side.
So I understand it's got issues with it, right? Like the thing is with the Hulk is that he is, yes, a big green rage monster and whatnot, but at the same time, there's also a psychology to him that honestly doesn't really get discussed as much in comparison to a lot of the MCU films. You know what I mean? Like they make mention of it every now and then, but at the same time, there's like a there's a psychological aspect of Hulk that you really have to look into, especially, and like they really address it in the film with like the abuse that he feels from his dad and everything, and like the isolation and loneliness he gets at times. So plus they also do like the funny little like comic strip transitions and whatnot. That's like a nice thing that they throw for the fans and whatnot.
And when he gets mad, he gets bigger. When he gets mad, he gets fucking bigger.
They did actually keep that,
I want to comment
accurate
something. I want to comment. If Campia took off his headphones, you just see steam shooting out of his ears.
But yeah, go ahead, Campia, and go ahead and rip a new one into it. Tell me.
No. It's just it's. I don't think visually it's a bad movie. I think it was very well done for being the comic book form with the panels and stuff. Film like a comic book. Ang Lee did a great job of that. Right. My problem is, you're right. It did give a lot of story about the backstory, but so did the TV show. And the TV show could do it in 30 minutes as well as give you 2 good fight scenes. This movie is the most freaking convoluted, straightforward talking fucking movie for an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. It's talking and talking and talking about the situation going on.
Hold up for a minute. This is coming from a guy that likes rom-coms.
Yeah, no, and in the last 30 minutes. But if I'm going into a Hulk movie, I expect to see the Hulk kicking ass. If I'm going into a Thor movie, I expect Thor to act like Thor. If I'm going into a Superman movie, if that motherfucker ain't flying, fuck you, Smallville. Fuck you, Smallville. If the motherfucker ain't flying, I don't want to see it. I love Smallville, but the fact they didn't let him fly, fuck them. Sorry. Side rant.
Okay. Let me explain something. Okay, he brought it up. The reason why they did not have him flying in Smallville, because it was a Clark Kent story. It wasn't Superman's story. It was Clark Kent building up to be Superman. And
But
even in the comic books, even in the comic books, he didn't get the ability to fly until he finally embraced it.
Hauser, what's up? I mean, the thing is too is like in the early comics, they didn't describe him as flying. They literally, one of the things was
he
able
jumped.
to leap a building in a single bound.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean. I get what you mean to say though, Camp.
And I will say this: Smallville does fall in the category here because it's 2003 when it came out, or 2001.
Right. But it's a show.
Pre-MCU.
It is a show. Well, I mean, it's a comic book thing, but I mean, it's
you're right.
Still, though, the Ang Lee one, I had such high hopes for because I like Ang Lee as a director. Although I've never seen Brokeback Mountain. Phantom probably has, but like I like Ang Lee's visual style and everything. And
I did not know Ang Lee.
I know who did. I know who watched Brokeback Mountain. It's the guy beside of me and his boyfriend Isaac.
Ooh,
I fucking knew it.
Was that your first date night movie, AP?
He's not denying it. He's not denying it.
I literally just said I haven't seen it.
Ang Lee did a good job visually. I love the first 10 minutes when I'm like, whoa, this comic book form is really cool. This is awesome. I like this. But then after 20 minutes, I'm like, okay, are we going to do anything besides talk? Okay, are we going to do anything besides talk? It's monologue the movie until the last 15 minutes, something like that, 20 minutes, maybe 15. It's monologue the movie.
They did that with the 54 Godzilla. I mean, you didn't have Godzilla till the last like 15 minutes.
I'll agree with you on one. I'll agree with you on one point. I'll agree with you on one point. Godzilla -1. Right. I usually do not care about the characters, the human characters in Godzilla movies. They made me care about characters. If they had made me care about Jennifer Connelly, Eric Bana, it felt so wooden. Like I understand what they were trying to do, but it just felt so wooden to me compared to what the movie I expected to see.
If you remember even the TV show, Hulk never showed up until maybe the last 15 minutes.
No, it was always required 2 fight scenes, one in the mid of the show, one at the end.
Well, that's just the thing. Back then they had limitations.
Well, it was for the budget.
Effects.
Ang Lee had the budget. Ang Lee had the budget to give us more. He just didn't. Well, according to the deleted scenes, there was more. He just didn't put it in the movie.
But then if you think about like the Incredible Hulk, there was a lot more to it, but it's more hated than the Ang Lee Hulk movie. It's actually more hated. It's actually more hated.
I don't see how though, because in terms of action, it manages like the
Edward Norton. That falls into the MCU though. That was actually supposed to be the start of the MCU, but
it was the second movie.
I think it was better made, to be honest with you, because you gave us both the backstory and the fighting, the backstory. It was a good balance in that.
Yeah, but they gave us that god awful Abomination. Which was
Abomination.
It was Doomsday, not Abomination.
It was CGI fest, is what it was. CGI for it, where they had it perfected, which now they don't even have it perfected anymore.
Nope.
No, well, they don't have it perfected because.
But like the TV show, Bill Bixby made you care about
Banner.
Oh my God, Bruce Banner. He made you care about Bruce Banner enough for you to wait.
It was David Banner.
David Banner show. You're right. You're right. Made you care about him in the show where when you got the big scenes, they were worth it.
And you cared about the Hulk.
I didn't care about Eric Bana. I didn't care about Eric Bana. He did not.
No. I mean, in the show, you cared about Lou Ferrigno's the Hulk. I remember, dude. When the death of the Incredible Hulk, I cried at the end of that because, I mean, the Hulk dies.
He was like 40, but yeah, I did too. But I was like 8 years old.
The thing is like I'm gonna be honest, that TV show scared me as a kid. His transformation terrified me because you've never seen anything like that on television. On how you saw it in the comic books that Banner would walk and he would gradually transform into the Hulk, but seeing his eyes turn white, his skin starts getting that green tint to it, then his clothes start ripping and shit. That was scary to a kid my age because this came out 74, 75, and I was like a year old when I first watched it.
1774. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was fuck you. But like getting back to the thing, it's like, if you really think about it, Blade did capture what a comic book movie was, and then it was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah, we had sporadic ones, but yeah, I think you're right. I think Blade was the catalyst. I think Spider-Man was the one that really brought it.
If it wasn't for Blade, we would have never gotten Spider-Man.
I agree.
It wasn't for Blade.
Well, then speaking of catalysts, then I guess this will actually go into the next question: is like, which movie do you think started the comic book movie trend?
Well, the trend. That's yeah.
And I think
Superman.
It could be Superman, and I can see it considering that they did start making the Superman movies in the 70s, and like they made movie after movie. And then after that, you saw other superhero films be made. But I honestly think it was. For me, I think it was Blade.
Well, these kids keep saying X-Men, but it wasn't X-Men. X-Men might have been the resurgence in 2000. That may have been more catalyst than Spider-Man. But I agree with you, Blade. It's just, I feel like we had sporadic spots. And I think the reason we didn't get what we got up into the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, is because of Superman. Because Superman 1 was so good. 2 was really good. 3 kind of dropped off, and then 4 dropped off the hill. And I think the trend of going down, well, whatever. It cliffed it. You're right. But I think the downgrade of like, oh, this is good. Oh, well, this didn't do as good. Oh, this didn't do as good. Oh, this didn't do as good. I think that might have been the catalyst for people to kind of not be as engulfed into this from the late 70s, early 80s.
I think the superhero movie that actually got comic books right, got the comic book aspect right, was fucking Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah.
but the thing is, if you think about it, Superman came out 77,
78.
78. And what was the tagline? The tagline is
you'll believe a man can fly.
A man can fly.
Yep.
And you have to think that up until Superman dominated the late 70s and the 80s. Batman dominated the 90s.
Late 80s to 90s.
Yeah. I do agree with that.
Well, I wouldn't say Batman and Robin is quite a dominant film, but
the first two.
No, yeah.
First three.
And the animated series.
It killed Batman.
Also dominated.
It killed Batman until Batman Returns. It killed it for a decade. Batman and Robin killed it for a decade.
Well, Batman Begins.
Batman Begins. Superman
Batman
Returns.
and Robin killed it till Batman Begins. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
essentially. Yeah,
and then you had Spawn that came out. You know,
Hellboy.
a character Hellboy. You had, I mean, you had multiple superhero movies. It's just at the time, people wasn't ready for the superhero genre. But then Iron Man just turned everything on its fucking head.
No, of course, right. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. Hold on. I'm not sure if people weren't ready. I'm pretty sure a part of like Hollywood wasn't ready to take it seriously.
I think
it wasn't until Iron Man. It wasn't until Iron Man came out where they're like, okay, there's a huge market here for comic book movies,
which doesn't really make sense because Spider-Man 2, you would say, like Spider-Man 2 for the longest time was considered one of the greatest superhero films of all time.
I still consider it one of the best ones.
Yeah,
so
I do too.
With that one, you could essentially say, okay, there's actually something important and lucrative into superheroes. Like you could make entire franchises out of this because of how amazing the storytelling is.
Well, that was 2003, so that would make sense because they would start
4. Spider-Man 2 was 4, 2004.
Okay, so you see, like 2008, that's 4 years later. That probably led to that probably could have been a catalyst because that led to 2008 when we had the Incredible Hulk and
the thing is though, is Spider-Man 3 hurt the momentum of the first two movies. It hurt the momentum.
True. You're not wrong.
It did, but the reason why it hurt the momentum, it wasn't because of Sam Raimi. It was because
the studio was meddling.
Well, Sam Raimi he didn't do nothing with it. He wasn't attached to it. He might have been producing it, but he wasn't.
No, I know. But Sam Raimi's original plan for Spider-Man 3 was to not include Venom.
Yeah, it was mostly Sandman.
Venom into the story.
And the Sandman story was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the thing
if Venom was not in it, I think it would have been
because Venom was popular in the comic books. That's the reason.
I'll tell you why it didn't affect. I'll tell you why it didn't affect the MCU is because that came out in 2007. At that point, everything was already in production for Iron Man and for Incredible Hulk. So I think they were already in post production. So I think if they had waited until after that movie came out, you might be right, and we might not have the MCU as we have it now. But since they didn't have, they already had it out. They put it out that it did change. But Spider-Man 3 could have killed the genre, but it didn't.
But then you had the two amazing Spider-Man movies that they were good for what they were. The second one not as good as the first one, but
I love him as an actor. Oh my God,
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. He was too good looking. He was too charismatic to be Peter Parker.
Okay,
he was a good Spider-Man, but not good Peter Parker.
Yes, good Spider-Man.
Yeah,
not good Peter Parker.
Okay, yeah.
That is my whole stance on that.
That's after the MCU.
That's post MCU.
But okay, so let's go to the next question then. The pre-MCU, is there any movies or hidden gems you think we should talk about? Like I know Ronan's gonna bring up our movie we watched, but is there any?
I was gonna say the same thing. So
I would go ahead, Ronan.
Go ahead. No. I would just say real quick that the one underrated gem, even though it did get a lot of undeserved hate, now I'm actually seeing the undeserved hate. It was definitely Howard the Duck, which we just watched on Friday. You want to talk about? So you want to talk about films that also capture the spirit, even though like in terms of actual like setting and storylines, it doesn't really capture it great, but like the overall spirit of what Howard the Duck is, the movie captures it really well, I would say.
These two's first time seeing.
Yeah, but it's definitely a fun film. I absolutely loved it. I thought
absolutely.
It was great. You know, Leah Thompson in it is really good in it in more ways than one, if you know what I mean. But like the suit for it, the special effects for it, you know, the stop motion animation they had it towards the end, all of it was just solid peak 80s stuff. And the fact that it was George Lucas that helped like produce this whole film, you could tell there was a lot of love and a lot of effort put into it, even though the film ultimately just did shit at the box office and the critics hated it. I think
the audience hated it too.
I think that it's something that maybe the film was it came out far too early. Yeah, maybe the film came out before its time.
Well, Kreese, so what they did was they did the Howard the Duck in tune with the comic book design of him, but I think the one from the movies actually way better because it looks. Because really,
there.
It looks, you can literally touch Howard the Duck and just pluck one of his damn feathers if you want.
And she tried to.
Well, that is true. But you can. Also
I had to say, Lynn Thompson had a nice little tush in them pink panties. Just saying.
Well, I can't believe I'm going to ask this, but I got to ask this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Actually,
Howard literally had a condom in his wallet. Yeah. How does that work? Because ducks have cloacas for dicks.
Don't ask. It was
for the For the Homies podcast. Do not condone. Hang on. Do not condone nor endorse the comments made here by Ronan the Crusader.
Okay, Ronan. I know this is the wrong show, and I know this is the wrong person to be asking. Do you swear it's not hentai?
Yeah, it almost turned to hentai with Leah Thompson there. I'm just saying.
But you've hit on the thing though. Yeah, you've hit on the thing about how though. It was entertaining. Was it the best movie in the world? No, but you were entertained from beginning to end.
Well, let's talk about another one. Let's talk about the '90s Captain America TV movie they did.
See, I'd never seen it.
It's the biggest thing that people have a problem with it was, he didn't, his ears, you know how Captain America's ears are supposed to be outside.
The wing ears, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the wing ear. And they said, he has plastic ears. And, the Red Skull, he literally not red no more. He has
and the foam, yeah. He kept his hair too. Didn't he?
I mean,
maybe I have seen this. Never mind.
I mean, for me, like a hidden gem are the two TV Captain America movies from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
They did change it. They did change the lore up a little bit, and instead of Steve being a super soldier, it was his father that was the original super soldier, and he passed it along in his genes, and his son has the abilities and strength and whatever.
Yep.
Well, then they basically made him $6 million man, didn't they?
Yeah,
like he was basically a $6 million man.
He had he had a sus little van, a little pedo van that had a motorcycle in it. But it was.
I'll say this. One, there's actually two I recommend, and one of them is kind of getting more popularity recently. It's The Shadow, and that is because like specifically the Shadow. Well, the movie is fine. I'm talking about the radio show.
Oh.
Like if you want to listen to like The Shadow, that's the best place to listen to. Like it's great. And
go ahead. Finish it.
Even the Phantom, the Phantom movie was
the Phantom
fucking good.
Yeah, that's why I love it so much.
Not this Phantom here, but the cool Phantom.
well, the thing was, so we had in the '80s, early '80s, we had Flash Gordon. Then we had the Phantom, and then we had the Shadow. At one point, in the '80s, we had the Defenders of the Universe cartoon where it's Flash Gordon.
Yeah,
it was Flash Gordon teaming up with Mandrake and the Phantom and Lothar and other things, and they were actually going to work towards doing that as a live action movie or TV show back in the '90s.
You might hit it on the head there. We had so many good comic book adaptations in cartoon form that later on, when, as us who were around it when we were like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, in the 90s, they were trying to capitalize on that because we were now 20, 23, 24, freaking
the Flash.
Spinning out the money.
Dude,
yeah.
The Flash TV show premiered on my fucking birthday. And I watched
John Wesley's ship, right?
Yeah,
John Wesley's ship.
And I love that show. But then like you had that little 2-part thing they had on TV in the, 78, 79, 80. It was based Challenge of the Super Friends, and you had Adam West come back as Batman. But during the 80s,
they also did a TV special, didn't they?
Yeah,
you're right. They did.
And the thing was, the 80s was dominated by superhero cartoons, Super Friends. Then you had Superman. you had the like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. 90s, you had the X-Men, and Spider-Man came back. Then you had Batman animated series, and you had Superman, which a lot of people don't know that Superman the animated series wasn't as popular as Batman, and it actually
not even a little bit.
It's not even close.
They actually dropped several of the episodes because it wasn't as popular to shoehorn in Justice League than Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the
Justice League Unlimited was
the popularity that Superman got wasn't so much from his own show because people didn't like it as much. Me, I'll die on the hill saying that it's one of the best animated shows I've ever seen because
it's a good show. It's a good show. It just wasn't as popular.
I grew up watching that one a lot, and so I think I said this on my my Superman 2025 review on Critic List, which if you guys want to check out Critic List, a better website to review movies, do that. But anyways, I talked about how that show along with Man of Steel are kind of like my two like the two foundations, shall we say, that I have when it comes to Superman, right? So that's why I actually love Superman, because of that show and because of Man of Steel. But it's a real shame that the show wasn't as popular as, say, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. That's where Superman got more of his popularity, was because of the Justice League shows.
Kreese, a lot of us do remember Jonah Hex.
Jonah Hex it was post, though. It was post.
Okay, yeah, it was still
post. It was?
I think it was 09, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We looked that up the other night. It was post.
Yeah.
But it's like you're right. It's one of those where the animation was always there. People were always about these cartoons. The X-Men cartoon. That's why they brought back X-Men 97. Mm-hmm. The Superman cartoon was popular. It wasn't as popular as Batman, but it was popular. But the main three that everybody watched was Spider-Man, X-Men, and Batman. And as we got older, like I said, those are the ones that they were like, well, we can make a lot of money off these if we franchise them. And with the exception of Batman and Superman, which they'd already done before. But if you look, what was the last Superman? 86, 87, something like that. And we didn't get another Superman until Man of Steel, if we can even freaking call that one.
Superman Returns. Oh,
Superman Returns, 2006.
Yeah, that's right. 06, Superman Returns.
And I think that was when they might have been, DC might have been trying to make their own little world, but then it just bombed so bad. I mean, it didn't bomb, but it didn't do what they were expecting. And it was all because of that story.
All right, guys, we got less than 20 minutes.
Yeah,
that's fine. So bring up the list, AP. We're going to show, like, we don't have to talk about every one, but we could go through.
Freaking zoom it in because Phantom can't read this shit.
That is true. So we're gonna go through just a few here. Try to go to the late 70s.
How's it look?
It looks fine. We can read it.
Yeah. Okay.
And if there's any that pop out at you that you forgot about or you want to talk
about,
feel free.
Start from
Flesh Gordon.
Yep.
Flesh Gordon. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But right there, 78, Superman was one of the first ones. There's that Doctor Strange TV show.
Doctor Strange.
The 79, you got
Captain America.
Ones he talked about. Yeah.
Buck Rogers.
Flash Gordon there. You didn't hear anything besides that. Telemundo. Yep. What the hell? The Richard Donner cut, which was popular. Everybody loved it. Heavy Metal. I forgot that was a comic book.
French comic book anthology series. It was mostly a lot of like sci-fi kind of storytelling. Well, like Star Wars level sci-fi. Yeah.
A lot of rock music in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing, like you got your Flash Gordon there. You got Swamp Thing. I don't remember Swamp Thing at all.
Yeah.
Superman.
Buckaroo Banzai.
I remember it. Yeah. I remember the Swamp
Red
Thing.
Sonja.
Well, there may be one that also looks Supergirl. That may also be one that bombed so big they may have been like, maybe this is not where we need to be in comic book movies.
And Toxic Avenger in '84 as well too. Quite the
Howard the Duck.
Unexpected,
underrated, but yeah, it's not a good movie.
I have to disagree with you, Colt Hauser, on Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
it was good. It was a good portrayal.
I don't think none of the actors did a bad job. I just think the story was crap.
Yeah.
You must hate yourself.
as we watched Howard the Duck, that was a good one. RoboCop, I forgot that was a damn comic.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I know we're talking like comic books, mostly superheroes, but it's interesting they actually have When the Wind Blows here as well too. So just a quick side tangent, but When the Wind Blows is it's a British comic book series about two it's an old couple essentially, but they're kind of living their own life in like rural England during the onset of the Cold War, and then
animated movie.
They did, yes, they did make it into.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the nuclear war actually does happen. So then you just see these two kind of like living in their decrepit, busted house, being exposed to radiation. It's quite a depressing story, but
wow,
it's a pretty good one
Holy
too.
Shit. And I forgot about Little Nemo.
Yep, Little Nemo started there. Batman, but it got overshadowed by a lot of other movies though.
There was a TV series of The Spirit back in the 80s.
Yeah,
no, I don't remember it. Yep, apparently
I remember that.
I have not seen it, but I've heard of it quite a few times. So
the movie's trash. The movie's trash.
And of course, The Punisher.
I like it.
Yeah, the original Punisher with Dolph Lundgren was actually a really decent action movie.
Yeah,
and of course, Batman here, which was really
89,
like the Batman craze.
And then we talked about it earlier, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk.
I can't believe Moonwalker was a comic book, apparently.
Yeah, but I think the comic book came up after
the movie. Okay.
You know what? Speaking of pulp comics as well, too, we also even have Darkman showing up around this time.
Yes,
1990. Darkman with Liam Neeson.
Such a good movie. Such a good movie.
And
there's Dick Tracy.
And of course,
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Which really kicked it off as well.
And then Guyver, Rocketeer, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This was a busy year for
1 year later. Yeah, they got it.
Rocketeer got overshadowed that year too. It and the Guyver got overshadowed by bigger movies.
To be a very meticulous kind of anal guy, but Guyver, since that one was a manga series, would that really constitute as well, or are we throwing manga and comic books in the same?
See, I'd agree with you. That was a thing I was wanting to bring up if we had more time. But it's like I agree with you. It could be considered a comic because it is panel pictures, but
manga is just Japanese comics.
We're getting there.
Yeah, but I mean it's Japanese where it wasn't as popular back then as it is now.
Right.
So I'd kind of fall under yes and no.
Okay, no, that's why I wanted to ask. Yeah.
I kind of think it would be, but at the same time, if it was bigger here back then, I would say yes, completely.
8-Man also in my opinion, I know this is one you mentioned a lot, Phantom.
Yes,
8-Man and Batman Returns in the same year too.
One of the best Batman movies is animated right here.
Batman Mask.
Oh, Mask Phantasm, great,
which is free on YouTube, by the way. It's free on YouTube now.
And Meteor Man, we're going to talk about next month with Kreese and a special guest. So pay attention to that one. RoboCop, Super Mario.
RoboCop 3. Okay, hold on. RoboCop 3 had its moments. Was it as good as 1 and 2? No. But it had its moments. It had
RoboCop fighting ninjas was a little weird. Yeah,
I disagree. The focusing on the kid, focusing on what was going on around him. The only thing good it did was killing off the friend.
Wait, Lewis died in this one. That's right. Yeah, she did.
That's the only thing that was potent in that movie. That's the only thing that was potent in the movie, though.
Yep.
And then Super Mario Brothers. The comic book came out after it was already out, but not really following the movie. But that movie was just
that's more of a video game adaptation than
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's adaptation. 1994, you had Blank Man, which is absolutely hilarious.
A great movie, but like it was not a good comic book from what I remember reading.
The Crow, another one as well. Here, another kind of superhero comic book series, and The Mask, which they really went a completely different direction with the Jim Carrey film as opposed to the Dark Knight comics. I never read the comic myself, but I've heard
the comic was so dark. He was eating intestines and all kinds of things. It was.
Well, I remember the one panel. Okay, you remember the scene in The Mask where he goes to the chop shop where the two guys are working. He's got like the big mufflers and everything.
Yep.
In the actual comics themselves, you see what he did with those mufflers. Yeah, like he really just shoved them in there, and the dude
impaled them through the body.
He did more than that. He did more than that.
Plus, they also got rid of the big buff dude who I forgot what his name was, but like he was like on a one-man mission to try and go after the Mask. And then when he finally got it in the later issues, He couldn't. Like the mask didn't activate because he was already insane as it was.
I don't remember.
I just can't remember what the big dude's name was, but he was like another antagonist along with the detective.
Yeah.
1995, Batman Forever, the sequel for Darkman as well too, and another comic book, Judge Dredd, which we talked about last week.
Walter. The big guy in the mask comic series is named
Walter. Yes, Walter. That's what it was.
Walter.
Shout out to the actor who played the antagonist in The Mask. He passed away last week.
Yeah, I think so. Like last week.
Yeah,
good actor, but he didn't get the shine like he could. Tank Girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tank Girl.
Tank Girl is a good fucking movie. I don't care what people say.
It's not a good movie, but it's an enjoy. It's kind of like Howard the Duck. It's not a good movie, but it's really freaking enjoyable from beginning to end.
Yeah,
it's so bad it's good.
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell is just fun as hell in that movie.
Yeah, and as Kreese mentioned earlier, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, but that was a comic book that came from the TV show.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I consider
but then
that.
it was but then it was derivative
Vampirella.
And then AP.
There it is.
Vampirella was not a straight to HBO movie. It starred Talisa Soto from Katana from Mortal Kombat. It also had Roger Daughtry, if you know The Who, the singer of The Who. He played the villain. It's not a good movie in the least, but it's enjoyable for watching how
it doesn't hold up to the lore of the comic book either.
She is so wooden in that movie, and she does not have the assets you want to say to play that character.
She's better as Katana from Mortal Kombat than Vampirella.
Completely.
In 97, of course, you had Batman and Robin here, which I'll say this. I do actually like the film myself, but I also get that this one just shit, dude. They really went.
It's a better
super
Bane.
hammy.
It's got a better Bane.
Oh, yeah.
It's the most comic accurate Bane that we have seen in live action.
This is the movie to watch after you watch the 1966 Batman. That's what I look at it as.
I can see that.
I mean,
and then we got Men in Black and then Spawn. So
Orgasmo, underrated movie.
For the longest time, I hadn't realized that Men in Black was actually a comic book adaptation from Malibu Comics.
Yeah,
Malibu.
Malibu?
Yeah.
Was it Malibu?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Malibu Comics. Yeah,
I don't remember.
But it was much darker. The comic itself was much darker than what they did with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. Like they didn't just neuralize people when they saw aliens and whatnot. I think they actually did what a lot of people assumed the real life Men in Black did, which was make them disappear, most likely kill people, like witnesses and whatnot.
Wow.
Sub-Zero in 98. Yes. Another animated Batman film. That one was, I hear amazing things.
And then there's the Nick Fury show with David Hasselhoff.
It was a TV movie. It was a TV movie.
Was it a movie? I thought it was a show. I thought it was.
And then, of course, the best ever, Inspector Gadget.
I disagree.
Hey, I like the first one.
I hate.
I like the first one.
No,
I like the first one. Second one was absolute shit.
No, the first one's a better movie. Second one as a better actor because I cannot stand Matthew Broderick as Inspector Gadget. Whereas Fred Stewart did a better job.
I fucking love that scene, dude. And
they showed Dr. Claw. They fucking showed Dr. Claw. That pissed me off.
Yeah, that was a bad thing that they did. Yeah. 2000 was where things really were kicking off as well too.
Oh yeah,
we got X-Men, Unbreakable.
Witchblade's another one too.
It's a good TV show.
Yeah. Witchblade surprisingly was originally a comic series, then it became a TV show, and then Japan actually did their own anime and manga adaptation of it too.
I didn't know that.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was phenomenal. They actually so in the Japanese one they have a lot more nudity and blood in it. They have a lot of nudity and blood in it.
I will say to mention Cole House's comment right here. I will say I agree with that with how they handled Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury in the later MCU. In the early MCU, I think he was a pretty damn good Nick Fury.
Well, okay, so we're gonna talk about this because this will be on the list. But like the first time you seen the black Nick Fury was in the 2 animated Avengers movies, the Ultimate Avengers movies. Because they literally did it to show Samuel L. Jackson, we want you as Nick Fury because they designed Nick Fury.
Well,
for him
but
to be.
But that
Nick
was the
Fury.
Ultimate Universe, though, right?
Yeah.
Like it was in the Ultimate Universe. They decided to introduce Nick Fury as a black guy. because most of the time Nick Fury they were trying to portray him similarly to David Hasselhoff. That was the original intention. And then the Ultimate Universe, this is what we want our Nick Fury to be in live action, is what was happening.
Because the thing with Nick Fury, the newer Nick Fury, so he's like from Vietnam up until now. Like the original Nick Fury was World War I, World War II, and the Cold War. So that's why they changed it up.
Well,
and for me, I had no issues with Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury. I think he did really
I agree. On top of that, in the comics, they did retcon it where the black Nick Fury we see now is the son of the original Nick Fury.
Yeah,
that's right. They did change that. 2002, you had probably, I would say, my favorite Blade film, Blade 2.
Blade 2, yeah.
Yes, Blade 2 was awesome. When he had to work with all those other vampires in there as well, too.
Now,
you got Norman Reedus being his little sidekick.
I do agree with this. Like,
yes, I've seen
that movie was
hokey.
That movie is hokey as hell, but it's a fucking good movie. And the guy that works with Nick Fury in the movie was the future voice of Optimus Prime in the animated universe in America, and he did the voice of He-Man in the New Adventures of He-Man.
Nice. All right. 2002, around this. Oh, right. I almost forgot too. Road to Perdition. It was also originally a comic book. Yeah.
Good movie.
Also a good adaptation. Really good adaptation. And again, like, just to talk about music real quick, Thomas Newman did the track for this, just like how he did with Green Mile.
Hold on, guys. Do we want to just just want to give Campy an outro real quick before so he has to go?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's fine. So everybody, I got family things to do. So thank you for coming on. You can find me. I'm MCampU fan. I am Sugar Honey Iced Tea, member of the GCA and the For the Homies here. You can find me on Critically. So you can find me on X. Maybe someday I'll put a video out and we'll do that. But just
will be before
thank
or after
you for joining us. Enjoy these guys. These are some of my best friends. You know, they've done a great job here in the show, and I'm glad to have them. They're going to take over, and I'm going to head out because family comes first. So talk to y'all later.
Yeah.
Don't be gay, everybody.
Peace out, dude.
No, don't be gay, Campy. All right.
All right. So we're up to 2003 now.
Well,
yeah, 2002, 2003. Let's see.
Daredevil. Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Yep, that's right.
Again, like I said, I have not seen the director's cut yet, but I that's definitely something I need to watch.
And Hulk as well.
And then Hulk,
which we were talking about earlier.
I know. My favorite scene in that is when they're in that facility and that dude's like tormenting Banner, and he turns into the Hulk, busts out, and they hit that foam on him, and he's sitting there and he's struggling, and all of a sudden he just starts getting bigger and bigger
and bigger.
And bigger.
Yep.
And that dude
he's slowly getting out of the foam. So what does he do? He grabs a grenade launcher, just shoots it, back. Bounces right off him. Oh, he's still here as a spirit or in spirit?
In spirit.
Yeah.
And then X-Men 2.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen 2 back in 2003.
Yep.
So that's an Alan Moore comic, if I remember correctly. Yep. But having watched the film, like, Sean Connery actually does a pretty good job in it.
I love the movie.
It's cheesy, and you can feel that they really were trying to go for a larger than life kind of thing. Because like when Captain Nemo shows up in his big ass submarine, right? I'm like,
Nautilus looked the blade of the sea, and it was the blade of the sea.
That's the thing. The Nautilus felt like it felt like a giant. It didn't even feel like a sub. It felt like a giant platform that was able to just trek across the globe. It was wild, but it was, for what it was pretty good. I won't lie.
I have to say the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde transformation, and it was the same actor in costume and regular costume. That was fucking good.
I actually did like that. That's what they did with Jekyll and Hyde. I really liked it.
And then we talked about Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2 came out in 2004.
Right here.
And you guys remember like when there was that deleted scene where the Punisher did have a cameo in it? Yeah, and like I believe it was this Punisher too, right? The 2004 Punisher.
Thomas Jane's Punisher coming out around the same time. Yes.
I have to say I love Lundgren, But that is my Punisher right there. Thomas Jane is my Punisher, straight up.
So Lundgren, Ray Stevenson, John Bernthal, and then Thomas Jane. Out of all of them, for me, it's going to be Thomas Jane because this was the first film I watched when it came to the Punisher. This one's going to be the one for me, honestly, because I absolutely love it,
dude. It had and you had the girl that would play Mystique in it,
Rebecca Romijn.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. Rebecca Romijn was in that movie too.
And this is like right after her big break as Mystique.
X2.
And yep. And for me, it's like phenomenal soundtrack. I fucking love this movie. And hell, even fucking John Travolta.
Oh, yeah.
Howard Saint was God, scary good.
You know what the performance reminded me of when he was trying to be when it was Castor Troy in Face Off. That's what it reminded me of. Yes. Yeah. That was such a good performance, dude. Yeah. And Saint was also a really good performance too.
And of course
hated him so much.
Hellboy was a really goddamn good movie.
Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy in 2004.
I have to say, like the remake, not the one that came out like a couple years ago, but the one with the dude from Stranger Things,
David Harbour. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, David Harbour. Yeah,
I love that movie. I fucking love that movie.
I have not seen the Crooked Man, that kind of indie film one. I have not seen it yet, and I hear it was all right.
I have mixed feelings for the David Harbour one because on the one hand, they actually went further with it in terms of like the violence. The comics, I don't know how violent the comics can get, but since they did go further with it, further with it, I was like, okay, this actually looks really cool. And a world this dark, yeah, I can see, the violence getting to this level. But at the same time, I don't know.
Him hunting the troll scene was
okay. Yes, good. That was awesome. It was.
Yes,
but Dave Harbour as Red, I don't know. I'm too much of a Ron Perlman fanboy, and Ron Perlman is a big fucking thumb. I will say that, just a big stupid thumb of a guy. But as Hellboy, he does a real damn good job.
He's got that voice.
I love those. Well, you got to think Ron Perlman's more famous for being under makeup than having his real face out.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if you go back to the late '80s, Beauty and the Beast with the girl from Terminator.
Right.
It was good. But for me, I have both Hellboy and the Golden Army. I wish he would have done a third film because they were going to do a third film, but it just never happened because of the twins. But like, I have not seen the newer one, and I just don't like the guy's look because it's more in tune with the comic book because he's like really thin.
Yeah,
nah.
Well, as a comic look adaptation, it looks pretty fine. Like it looks pretty good. Although I still much prefer Ron Perlman's look of Hellboy overall. If you remember, I think he looked the best.
If you remember, during the time where Del Toro was making Hellboy films, they also made animated features as well too, where Ron Perlman came back to do the voice of Hellboy himself. And in those, they actually had Hellboy
in the video game.
And in those, they actually had him do the accurate design. Like he had the hoofed legs, he had the pupilless eyes and everything. Which is funny because he commented about that in the live action film. It's like, I can't stand those comics; they never get the eyes right. But it's like, that's how your eyes actually are, dude. But yeah, it's good. 05
we got
was
a lot of movies in 05.
Comics. Yeah,
Batman Begins,
Constantine with Keanu Reeves. That I absolutely love.
Dude, the Batman versus Dracula, underrated animated movie of all time for that series. It's underrated. It is dude. I have to say, the Batman has probably one of my favorite cartoon versions of the Joker, where literally the Joker's in a straitjacket and he's batshit crazy.
Elektra in this one as well too, which was like the spinoff for the Ben Affleck Daredevil.
I liked it.
I think I've made it. I think I maybe have seen it once or twice, and it's.
I feel like that was their first attempt. That was their first attempt to try to make a a shared universe kind of thing, but it didn't pan out nearly as well as they wanted it to.
If I remember right, it's the one movie that Stan Lee does not do a
cameo
appearance
in it. Yeah.
Well, yes, Cole Hauser, the Son of the Mask, that's a spin-off mostly on the Jim Carrey film than anything else.
I don't count. I don't. Nope. Fuck that movie.
Yeah.
That movie.
And then Fantastic Four, which honestly,
give me back my son.
I think the 2005 Fantastic Four was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
I will say.
I think the Corman 91 was actually more accurate to the comic book.
Yes, absolutely.
Like outfit wise, yeah, definitely it was more accurate. But for trying to make something that was like fresh and new and modern, shall we say, for the first family of Marvel, I really liked it. I wish that they continued with that, but then you kept seeing, reshoot and remake after remake with like Josh Trank's version, and now we got fucking Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, and it's just
don't take me wrong, Pedro did a good Reed Richards. He did do a good Reed Richards. And I think that the Disney Fantastic Four is better than Rise of the Silver Surfer, not by much, because they got Galactus right in the Disney one compared to the fart cloud in the sky from the Jessica Alba one.
Dude,
well, yeah, of course.
We can't forgive him for that. That version of Galactus looked like dog shit.
I think the idea was during that time. Okay, so how like X-Men, they didn't give the characters the comic accurate outfits. Spider-Man was the one where they did give him the comic accurate outfit. But okay, do you think people in 2007 were really ready to see a giant humanoid looking dude?
I was.
I know you were. Like comic fans definitely were. Comic fans were. I mean, like general audiences. You think general audiences would have wanted to see something like that be
Ebola,
the devourer of worlds?
Definitely better. I mean? It's definitely better than the 2015 one.
But dude, but the thing is, the Silver Surfer and Rise of the Silver Surfer was spot on.
Absolutely spot on.
That was a good non-rad.
Lawrence Fishburne and Doug Jones, dude. Yeah. Like the best combination you have in making Silver Surfer. So
absolutely. Good. And then we got V for Vendetta
and Dr. Doom.
And
the guy that played
Dr. Doom was good.
Yes, yeah, I actually like the actor that played Dr. Doom.
He died last year too, right?
Last year.
Damn, it sucks.
Yep. AP, you did also mention, yes, V for Vendetta, which for me, I kind of like this version a lot more than I do the Alan Moore comic, because again, Alan Moore being the dirty snake god worshipping man that he is, fucking made that comic. V was not the suave, sophisticated, like gentleman terrorist that he is with Hugo Weaving's portrayal. He's much more filthy and a lot more ruthless.
Hugo Weaving brought so much more like freaking personality to
charisma. He brought a whole ton of charisma to it.
You gotta remember. He just got off doing The Matrix. He just did this movie. That's what got him the role as Red Skull. Was this being V? Got him the role as Red Skull. And for me,
sucks because he's a really good Red Skull.
Dude, I love this fucking movie. It's like, so I've read the comics, and you're right. That shit that he did to Natalie Portman in the fucking movie, in the comic book, it was more traumatizing.
Yes.
Because he SR'd her in the fucking comic books.
Yeah.
And he had guys come in and SR her in the fucking comic books to mentally break her from the control of the government.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that happened in the comic
book. Damn
it,
Ronan.
But for me, it's like that scene with V, the first time you see V before he has his costume and he's all fucking burnt and he's standing there and he's menacing, and it's like, dude, fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
2006,
300.
Yep.
Frank Miller's 300, which got adapted by Zack Snyder. Yep.
Yeah, dude. Of course, this was a movie with a crap ton. This was a year with a crap ton of movies.
Kreese, please don't remind me James Gunn's coming in to ruin another fucking comic book like
don't.
But yeah, apparently he really wants to work on another.
Banned him. Oh, I can't. He's a mod. But
Yeah, no,
so we had
Over the Hedge.
Yeah,
I don't know why
comic book. That was a comic
really?
book. Yeah,
Interesting.
but it came out after the movie.
Did not okay that.
But yeah, you had.
I don't know if that should count though. Like if it came out after the movie, it's.
I think around this time is when they had like a lot of animated features, which were either like direct to video or stuff they were showing on TV. Like for example, Teen Titans, right? Yeah, Teen Titans air earlier as like a really good show. Like it's probably my favorite. It's the reason why I even love the Teen Titans in the first place. It's like a superhero group in DC, and then they had Trouble in Tokyo show up in this year. It was a great TV movie. I absolutely loved it.
Then we got the Abomination Teen Titans Go.
We don't talk about that.
Oh, God.
That doesn't exist. What's the
Phantom,
Teen Titans Go you speak of?
You mentioned it. You mentioned earlier Ultimate Avengers.
Yep, they came out. Both Part 1 and Part 2 came out in the same year.
Ultimate Avengers was actually pretty. I enjoyed them.
Yeah. And they did Iron Man after that. They did Iron Man. And they did Doctor
we're just
Strange.
about to get there because we're at 2007 here, which is the last year just before the MCU really kicked things off. You had the graphic novel of 30 Days of Night, which got adapted into a film. It was a pretty good movie.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Second one not as much. Second one not as much.
Second one's not great. Ghost Rider showed up around the same time.
Fantastic Four, Ghost Rider.
Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
I don't care what people say. I fucking love Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, man.
He does a great job in it. Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of enjoyed this show.
Invincible Iron Man.
The only thing they got wrong was Blackheart, because Blackheart doesn't have a human form. He's just a straight up demon in the comic books.
Let's see here. Just another kind of little random one that's thrown in there too, but Persepolis. Yeah, this is a French comic book that got adapted into an animated film where it's about if I'm correct, it's about a woman who's from Iran, and like it deals with like the Muslim religion and women's persecution that they have to deal with at that time. But and then you got Spider-Man 3.
Underrated, another underrated movie is Underdog. Was actually a kind of enjoyable movie. It was weird.
It had to do from My Name Is Earl, the one that played Earl did the voice of Underdog. It was okay.
No, not Jason Biggs. God, what's his name? I'm trying to remember what his name was. I think it was.
He played in the Alvin and Chipmunks movie.
No, I know that's the guy, but I always keep confusing him with Jason Biggs. I know it's a different actor though, because he's the same dude that played as Azrael in Dogma, and he works closely with like Kevin Smith in the VSQ films, like like Clerks,
Jason
Mallrats. Jason Lee, that's his name. Yes, thank you, Jason Lee.
Underdog's okay. I know it more for the cartoon from the late 60s, early 70s. Yeah.
And then do you want to talk about the 2008 ones that came out before Iron Man, or just skip this year and just
we go up to Iron Man. We go up to Iron Man.
Yeah, we can mention them here.
So we got the Gotham Knight here movie.
Couple of animated Batman films here. Yeah. I don't think Bolt was a comic book series, but it was kind of in that spirit of like superheroes and whatnot.
It was definitely inspired, like heavily inspired, but then we got the Dark Knight, which came out before Iron Man, and we got Hellboy 2 and Hancock.
Golden Garment, yep.
And the Incredible Hulk. Well, Incredible Hulk came after Iron Man.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, around this time too, you even had Punisher Warzone as well. I think that one came out before Iron Man and Incredible Hulk, if I remember right. Because Iron Man and Incredible Hulk came out November and December, but Punisher I think was somewhere around the summer, if I remember right.
Yeah, technically it was part of Marvel Studios. It was his first major release, but they didn't tie it into the MCU.
Right.
Which is sad. That could have been the first movie in the MCU, was Warzone. Yeah.
Could actually, that would be interesting too, because it's another R-rated film that really kicks off a wider franchise, kind of like what Blade did back in '98.
A true brutal Punisher until we got the Netflix Punisher.
That's right.
Yep. Which, dude, the first season of Netflix Punisher was pretty good. I know it's after, but it was pretty good.
Jumper's another one too, which like this is one of those unconventional kind of.
Came after Iron Man though. It came after Iron Man.
Did it?
Yeah, I did. It came out like what was it, a month or two?
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's
hold on.
Let me actually look that up. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, Campia looked that up the other day, and
February 14th. Actually came out pretty early.
Yeah, it was one of the earlier films.
When did Iron Man come out? November?
I'm pretty sure Iron Man came out in November. Oh no, May 2nd. May 2nd.
Yeah, so
Iron Man came out May 2nd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Jumper
okay,
yeah.
But Jumper's a good one too. Like
it
Samuel
is.
Jackson in it, just with like freaky, like white
Hayden
short hair.
was good in the movie.
Yes, Hayden Christensen was good in it.
And I'll even say
and he met his future wife.
That's right. He
True.
did. And I'll even say this too, like even Jamie Bell did a pretty good job as one of the other jumpers in there as well. Yeah, he did a pretty good job at it.
All right, but that's all we got with the list, so
that's pretty much everything that did come out around that time. So then, considering the progression, I guess probably the last question that we could ask just to top things off here is, what do you guys think could have been done differently to start the comic book craze that led to 2008 to make it begin sooner? Or better yet, if that's not the case, do you think it just started off at the right time?
I think it was the right time.
I think it was the right time. I think like 2008 was like kind of the perfect time for superhero movies, for comic book movies to really get adapted, because I mean, comic book movies were like the big thing in Hollywood because of movies like Iron Man and all that. So
no, not to be the contrarian here in this case then, but
you son of a bitch.
Honestly, I feel like it could have started off earlier with Spider-Man 2. Like what I said before, you know, Spider-Man 2, not only was it,
but it was the niche. Best, it was the niche though.
No, I understand that the niche kind of was what was holding it back. But like, if you really look back on Spider-Man 2, it's not just one of the best comic book films of all time around that time. And hell, to this day, it still could be considered one of the best comic book films of all time. It was one of the best films that came out that year alone in 2004. Like people were just singing like high praises of that movie. People absolutely were enjoying it. People were just talking nothing but good things about it. So I think that Spider-Man 2 proved that you could actually make superhero films really be something more profound than just, you know, dudes in tights running around beating up bad guys and saving the day.
Yeah, I mean Spider-Man 2 is one of the best comic book movies out there.
Because it absolutely addressed the kind of responsibility that Peter was having to deal with, that was really weighing on his shoulders, like leading 2 lives, having this responsibility of protecting the city and protecting the people he loves. You know what I mean? Like it was important. Yeah.
I will say DC did make a mistake, because they saw the success of the MCU and they wanted to copy that, and they wanted to rush to an Avengers level movie.
That's the reason why they did. You can't go from Superman to the Avengers in 3 fucking movies. You can't do that.
They did that with the DCU. It failed terribly on them. But here's the thing though. Like, and again, I know we're talking post MCU introduction, but like they had an opportunity with Endgame. They had an opportunity after that. Things were going to be slowing down with Marvel. They could have done something from there, but they kept shitting the bed.
Well, look at DC. Technically, their first movie was Green Lantern. You know, Green Lantern was supposed to be the start of their fucking shared universe, and it bombed. I enjoyed the hell out of Green Lantern.
Ronan, I got it. You said, here's the thing. Such a dumb joke, but I needed to do it.
I think what hurt it the most for it becoming an established like genre that we grew to love from Iron Man up is because the fandom wasn't there yet. The fandom, I mean, it was like
the normie fandom wasn't there yet.
And it's like Iron Man is where like the script flipped and the switch got turned on.
Yeah.
And it never looked back. And now we're at the point where we're hating superhero movies, and they're bringing it back around to video games and
anime as well too.
Anime adaptations. Yeah. So it's in cycles. Now, if they would just after I say Secret Wars, let it sit for a decade.
Right.
Recast everybody.
I mean, I guess my thing is that like I feel like, and I know what I'm going to say is probably going to be wild because it's counter to how we're seeing things change, but I feel like the studios really shouldn't be so beholden to general audiences and normies to like help make the big success. Because yes, these things are niche, but there's enough people in there where they're willing to like, actually put their full support and get their butts in the seat to watch these kinds of things. I understand ultimately that is kind of a losing discussion because as many people as are going to be in these franchises, you are still going to have to rely on general audiences for that bigger push to finally get it over the line of success. I mean, take a look at Fallout right now, right? Like there's more general audiences watching the show than there probably are fans. But again, that's a discussion for another time, which speaking of, if you guys are interested, go and check out the Fallout Season 2 discussion that AP and I had on the channel. We're going to have another one in another 4 weeks once they finish up these next 4 episodes. But anyway,
so, if we don't have anything else, I guess we can start rolling out outros right quick. So, Tomic, what you got going on?
Well, I mean, tomorrow I'm gonna be uploading videos again. I'm actually alive after shit that happened last week, this last week. But yeah, I'm uploading back to a regular Monday through Friday schedule, usually at 10:30 Mountain Time, which would be freaking 12:30 for anyone on the East Coast. And if you can find me on X, you can find me on Criticlist, you can find me in the For the Homies Discord and the GCA Discord, which shout out to them. But yeah, you can find me on. We do watch parties every Friday for the Homies podcast, and we got some pretty good movies that we're going to be watching. So join that if you want to watch anything. And yeah, like I said, you can find me on Criticlist. You can find me on Kick, which is I just have that place to just have it. But yeah, and anyway, that's all I've got. So,
all right,
Ronan, what you got going on other than rage quitting from video games?
So hopefully tomorrow I will not be raging at Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I will be streaming it tomorrow because I actually have an early shift. I'm showing up at like 4 a.m. Tomorrow at work because my boss is out for the week, so I got to cover for Monday. But anyways, that gives me a chance to actually stream Claire Obscure Expedition 33. So hopefully I won't be raging at that with all the turn-based bullshit and quick time defense and parrying and whatnot. But if you want, check me out there. I also do have a link tree with my various other links. I got YouTube, Ronan the Crusader, Kick, Ronan the Crusader, X, Ronan_Crusader7. I got that as well too. And I'll also be on Isaac's Golden Shower podcast. Golden Age podcast, along with our handsome black friend Cole Hauser as well, who's also a co-host on that show. So if you guys want to check that out too. Throughout the rest of the week, you'll be seeing me doing some of my own streams as well, streaming Death Stranding, streaming Fallout. Fuck you, Ebola. I will not be pulling a VTuber this time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where you can find me. You also find me as well on the GCA Discord and the For the Homies Discord, which if you guys are interested, join that as well. But don't join a troll like we had last night.
Buy the merch.
Buy the merch. So a couple announcements. So this Thursday night, we're going to have Jessica Lindstrom on, the future Mrs. ABF that's going to be on the show this Thursday night. And Saturday night, we'll be back gaming. We're going to be playing Among Us next Saturday night. I have no idea what we're going to be doing for next Sunday show. We'll announce that later on in the week. So everybody's links are in the description. The merch, everything from the merch, Discord, all our social medias are in the description down below. So thank you guys. I got a ham that's waiting on me to eat.
One last thing. I almost forgot to mention Cole Hauser. Thank you for reminding me. Cole Hauser's channel will also be doing a Star Wars prequel discussion as well too. It's the second one that we're doing on this channel. So if you guys are interested, check that out. It's also really good.
Nice.
But yes.
So we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys Thursday night for the Homies podcast. I'm Phantom X. He's Liquid Atomic, whatever. He's the rage quitting little bitch boy, Ronan the Crusader. We're the homies, and we're out. Don't be gay, Campia.
Yeah, fuck you, Campia.
Like the stream, homies.
Bye, everybody. Like streams, homies.